Yo, what's up everyone? Today we're tackling another deeply chilling case. If you want to back my channel, hit that subscribe button and stay engaged. It really makes a difference and I'd be so thankful. Let's dive in. On the morning of July 13th, 2023, the heat was already brutal. In southern France's Tarn-et-Garonne department, the air was parched and heavy. Near a canal on the edge of La Coursière village, a farmer caught a whiff of a foul stench. He followed a small trail past a soccer field to check it out. Hidden in the thick grass and bushes, he stumbled across a body on the ground. A pink handbag lay nearby. He quickly called the local rescue service. Within an hour, police were on site, cordoning off the area and scoping it out. Inside the bag, they found an ID belonging to 21-year-old Marine Pau, who'd been missing since June. The body's identity wasn't yet officially verified. Marine Pau grew up in Occitania, southern France. She was 21 when she vanished. She and her boyfriend were renting a place in a commune north of Haute-Garonne, near Toulouse. She had two older brothers, Nicolas and Jonathan, and was especially tight with Nicolas, confiding in him often. Her parents split when she was young, and in 2020, her mum passed away, a blow that hit Marin and her family hard. She didn't talk about it much, but her Facebook posts often included quotes about grief. After her mum's death, Marin stayed close to her dad, with whom she shared a strong bond despite his health issues. Since at least January 2020, she worked at a nursing home. Details about her job are scarce, but she was known to be reliable, showing up for shifts and handling the emotional and physical demands of the role. On Facebook, Marin was active, posting personal quotes full of emotions and reflections, sometimes deep and philosophical. In the months before June, her posts slowed, but she still shared updates and photos. On June 11th, 2023, she posted a cover photo marking 2 years with her boyfriend. 2 days later, on June 13th, she updated her profile picture with the caption, "A smile can hide a lot. Fear, pain, sadness. But it shows one thing, strength." Though her life looked calm on the surface, her posts and online behavior hinted at inner struggles. Some close to her noticed she seemed on edge, but few realized how much she was hurting. On the evening of June 16th, 2023, Marin hung out with two people, a friend and a family acquaintance named Laurent, in Vermoines-sur-Tarn, about 20 minutes from her dad's place. At the end of the night, Marin drove her grey Ford Fiesta to drop them off. Around 2 a.m, she left her friend in the town of Fon, then headed to La Bastide-Sierre to drop off Laurent. She parked, said goodbye, and according to her brother Nicolas, sent him a goodnight text soon after. Then she went to her dad's house. Her father later said he heard the front door open that night. He didn't check, but the sound was unmistakable. Someone came in. That was the last known contact with Marin. On the morning of June 17th, 2023, Marin's dad woke up around 9 a.m. and sensed something was wrong. The room where Marin was supposed to sleep was empty. The bed was untouched and her stuff was gone, except for a raincoat hanging by itself. The 2 suitcases she'd brought after moving out from her boyfriend's place a few days earlier were missing. Her car wasn't parked outside either. Something felt off. He tried calling her, but every call went straight to voicemail. He kept trying all morning with no luck. Then he reached out to Marin's friends and her boyfriend. No one had heard from her since the evening of June 16th. No texts, no calls. Worried, her dad called Nicolas, who was on vacation. Nicolas suggested Marin might have just needed some space, which wasn't totally her style but wasn't impossible. He told his dad not to panic, hoping she'd check in soon. Meanwhile, her dad kept contacting anyone who might know something. The The fact that her stuff was gone and she was unreachable made him increasingly anxious. By noon, over 12 hours had passed since her last known contact, with no sign of her. Her dad went to the Grisol police station and officially reported her missing on June 17th. That night, Nicholas returned from vacation around 11 p.m. and headed straight to his dad's house. Marin was still missing, her belongings gone from her room, and all attempts to reach her were unanswered. The family knew something was seriously wrong. Marin never vanished without telling someone. Taking her luggage without a word was odd. She wasn't one for sudden moves without explanation. At 21, she was free to make her own choices, but this didn't fit her pattern. The missing car heightened their alarm. She clearly left with a plan to go somewhere, but there was no clue where or why. The situation was murky. The packed bag suggested she might have left willingly, but the total silence, no calls, no texts, was unsettling. The family wondered, was it a spur-of-the-moment choice or something planned? Did she have a destination, or was it an emotional reaction? With no word on her whereabouts, the questions piled up. On June 18, 2023, a day after Marin was last seen, authorities started digging into her digital trail, her phone, online activity, and bank records. Her phone's last signal was at 8 a.m. on June 17th, near a cell tower in Montbang. After that, it went dead. No calls, no connections to other towers. Investigators checked her Facebook, where she was usually active. Her last digital trace was around 6 a.m. on June 17th. No logins, posts, or activity after that. Her bank account showed no transactions, no withdrawals, no purchases, nothing since she vanished. They monitored her account, but days passed with no activity. Her SIM card was also inactive, not connecting to any network since that morning. It was as if her digital life stopped cold at 8 a.m. on June 17th. No signs pointed to her movements or actions after that. On June 18th, the second day of her disappearance, Nicholas got a message from a woman who'd seen a social media post about Marin. She claimed she saw Marin on June 17th around 10:30 a.m. in Lour-Saint-Pierre, a small community 15 minutes from Montbang. Marin was alone on a café terrace in the village square, ordering coffee and orange juice. The woman said Marin seemed off, distracted, standing up and sitting back down repeatedly. Eventually, Marin left the cafe with a paper bag and walked toward a nearby canal, crossing the road near a stadium. She'd stop, look around, and change direction occasionally, which caught attention. Lour-Saint-Pierre is a tiny village of about 1,000 people, so a lone young woman stood out. That's why the witness remembered so much. Nicholas passed the tip to the police. On June 19, 2023, police arrived in Lour-Saint-Pierre to investigate the witness's report. They found Marin's grey Ford Fiesta parked on a dead-end road by the Montec Canal near an elementary school. The car was in plain view, not hidden, and didn't look abandoned in a rush. It was locked. Inside the trunk, police found 2 large travel bags belonging to Marin, but no phone, handbag, or documents. The car was secured for forensic tests, fingerprints and biological evidence to check for other people or external traces. The car showed no signs of damage or forced entry. Finding it raised new questions. Until then, everyone assumed Marin left voluntarily with her stuff. But now, her car and bags were there, and she wasn't. The missing phone and documents suggested she left the car unexpectedly or under strange circumstances. The car's location near the cafe and canal tied to the witness's account, suggesting Marin walked along the canal after leaving the cafe. But then her trail vanished. Locals confirmed the car hadn't moved since Saturday morning, supporting the idea that Marin arrived there on June 17th and never returned. The bags in the trunk made it weirder. If she planned to leave town, why leave them? Why not take anything? And why wasn't her phone in the car, especially since its last signal was nearby? Something happened between the cafe and her disappearance, but no theory had solid proof yet. The car was a big clue, but it didn't solve the puzzle. The search zeroed in on the canal and surrounding area. Days later, another tip came in. A man claimed he saw Marin on the night of June 17th at a nightlife spot in Montalban's industrial area. He said he recognized her, approached, and greeted her with a cheek kiss. This tip came after Marin's story hit local and national media. Her family sent it to the police, opening a new angle. Maybe she was alive that evening and interacted with someone publicly. But issues arose during verification. Her phone hadn't connected to any network after 8 a.m. on June 17th, with its last signal in Montbang. No calls, logins, or pings after that. If she was at the club, how'd she get there? Her car was in Le Saint-Pierre and hadn't moved, per locals. The 12.5-mile distance between the locations was too far to walk safely at night, especially without a phone signal. Maybe she went with someone else, but no security footage showed her at the venue. Police checked indoor and outdoor cameras, but nothing confirmed her presence. Mistaken identity was possible. Her photo was all over social media, and in a dim, noisy club, someone could have confused another person for her. The family was caught between hope and skepticism. If the man was right, Marin was alive that night, suggesting her disappearance wasn't planned. But the claim wasn't confirmed, and the investigation kept exploring all angles. As Marin's disappearance stretched on, theories emerged, none with solid evidence. The first was that she left willingly, taking her bags and car. At first, her age, independence, and emotional state made this seem possible, but it fell apart when her car was found with her stuff inside and no contact from her. No signs showed she'd settled elsewhere, no messages, no financial activity. The second theory was self-harm. Her family didn't rule it out. Nicholas said Marin had been deeply distressed in recent months, feeling overwhelmed and emotionally drained. She'd seen a mental health professional at least once, with another appointment set for June 23rd. Her social media posts hinted at loneliness, anxiety, and discomfort in her own skin, though she left no clear note of intent. The third theory involved someone else. After the nightclub sighting, the family wondered if Marin ended up in a situation beyond her control. They privately discussed the possibility of criminal activity, like trafficking, though there was no evidence. Key questions lingered. If she left willingly, why abandon her bags? If she wasn't alone, who was with her and how'd they leave? The lack of witnesses, footage, or digital traces kept every theory open. From June 17th to July 13th, 2023, Marin's family lived in limbo, clinging to hope for any clue. Police kept investigating, checking digital data, tracking movements, and following tips. Nicholas led a public campaign, posting on social media, sharing Marin's photo, and urging people to spread the word. Volunteers and locals joined, putting up posters across Montauban and nearby areas. Despite the effort, no solid leads surfaced. The silence was crushing. No sightings, no signals, no trace. Nicholas struggled, unable to focus at work due to sleepless nights and anxiety. He stayed in touch with police, chasing every tip, but no breakthrough came. Marin's disappearance remained unsolved. On July 13, 2023, 27 days after Marin vanished, a major break came. A farmer near the canal and a sports field noticed a persistent odour he'd initially blamed on a dead animal. That day, he ventured deeper into the brush, about a quarter-mile from where Marin's car was found. There, he discovered a body, partially hidden in thick undergrowth, with a pink handbag nearby. The ID inside pointed to Marin Pau. He called emergency services and police arrived fast, securing the area for a full investigation. The body was badly decomposed, likely there for weeks in the summer heat. The ID and clothing strongly suggested it was Marin, though formal identification was pending. That day, police contacted Nicholas, telling him they'd likely found his sister. At home when he got the call, he knew it was the news he dreaded. Forensic analysis later confirmed it was Marin through documents and physical traits. The body was in the active search zone, previously swept with dogs, drones and divers, but dense brush and terrain hid it from view, even from the air. For the family, it was the worst confirmation. Nicholas, Marin's dad, and her brothers were devastated. Nicholas said the call stopped his world. He couldn't function, and life paused. After weeks of searching and hoping, Marin's death closed one chapter and opened another. Finding out what happened. Investigators worked to retrace Marin's last movements on June 17th. The café witnesses report became key. After leaving the café, Marin likely returned to her car but didn't take anything, instead walking along the canal. Witnesses saw her cross a bridge and vanish behind trees, a path matching where her body was found. A paper bag like the one she had at the café was found near the body, along with traces of medication and an empty blister pack. The medication's name wasn't public, but the family was told it might have been a strong sedative. Investigators believed Marin stayed there from the day she vanished, with the body's state suggesting she died soon after the café sighting. An autopsy was ordered, but decomposition made it hard to pinpoint a cause of death. A toxicology report followed to check for substances, given the pills found nearby. With no signs of violence, struggle, or restraint, authorities leaned toward Marin making a personal choice to end her life. The Montauban prosecutor's office confirmed no evidence of foul play, so no criminal case was pursued. Marin's family noted she'd grown more withdrawn since her mum's death in 2020, rarely sharing her emotions despite staying social online. The investigation closed with a finding of voluntary departure, leaving the family to grapple with the heavy truth. After Marin's case closed, her family spoke out. Nicholas posted on social media, confirming Marin was found and thanking everyone who shared her photo, spread the word, and supported them. The internet was crucial. The café witness recognized Marin from Facebook posts, leading to her car and eventually her remains. Nicholas wanted Marin's story shared fully, approving videos and articles to honor her and raise mental health awareness. He hoped it would help others feeling lonely or in pain. In a gentle message to Marin, he expressed regret for not seeing her struggles sooner, noting she was now with their mom, who died 3 years earlier, and hoping she'd found peace. He urged others struggling to reach out, mentioning the National Mental Health Hotline and stressing that a short talk can matter. Marin's story left no clear answers, no note, no explicit explanation. But her posts, silences, and moments pointed to one conclusion. This was the final chapter of Marin Pau's disappearance, a young woman whose silence spoke loudest. Thanks for watching, everyone. Your support means everything. Hit like, drop a comment, and share this video to help my channel grow. Catch you next time.